What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 quarterbacks for the 2025 NFL Draft, um, starting from 5 going to 1. So let's go ahead and get right into it. At number 5, I've got Quinn Ewers, quarterback from Texas. He's 6'2", 214 pounds. Big arm, plus athlete. Can make every type of throw. Mechanics honestly do need a lot of work though, but he can throw the football well on the move. I think his decision making overall, I think, could stand to improve, and same with his accuracy. But I think the accuracy can be inconsistent because of his mechanics. I think if you worked on his mechanics, I think that would improve. And he does show flashes of really good accuracy when his mechanics do look good. And he's also shown flashes of being able to make really good decisions. He does seem intelligent. He just needs some coaching. Um, and when I say his decision making needs some work, it's usually a tad slow. He plays a lot better when he is playing fast, using play action, RPO, stuff like that, where he can get the ball out of his hands quickly. Um, he's only 22 years old. He just turned 22 in March. So he is still pretty young, too. I have a third-round grade on him. Personally, and I think as a developmental player, I do think he does have some value. So moving on to number 4, I've got Jalen Milroe from Alabama. He's 6'2", 217 pounds. Really athletic, shifty, bursty, can hurt you with his legs, has real speed and quickness to him that can hurt you. But with that, he sometimes runs when he doesn't need to and, puts his eyes down. Throws the ball well on the move, though. Good. He has good balance. Can throw from a lot of different angles. Has shown the ability to throw with velocity and touch. His base is all over the place with his throws. Gets narrow, wide, all over the place. So he could definitely stand to improve his mechanics. When he does properly set his feet and play with a good base, his throws are pretty accurate. He does tend to stare receivers down sometimes. That's something I want to see him improve on, and decision-making overall is something I want him to improve on. He also tends to hold the ball a little bit too long, which that kind of comes with having a mobile quarterback. But even still, I think his decision-making needs to get better and faster. Accuracy can also be a little bit inconsistent, but similar to Quinn Ewers, I think the mechanics have a lot to do with that. He looks pretty accurate when he does set his feet and, throw with a good base. I think arm strength is really solid. I don't think it's great, but I do think it's definitely solid enough. I also think he needs to identify blitzes a little bit faster and more efficiently. I have a second-round grade on him. I think he can develop into a pretty solid player himself. Moving on to number 3, we've got Jackson Dart from Ole Miss, 6'2", 223 pounds, 3-year starter in the SEC, which is nice. Pretty average athlete for the position, but he's pretty accurate. Can scramble a little bit, but isn't really a running quarterback. Can make full reads, but prefers the quick, easy throws. He benefits from a slow and steady play. More of a game manager than a driver. Solid decision-making, but sometimes hesitates. Good anticipation in man, but I think he could stand to improve versus zone. Good back shoulder throws, can absolutely throw with touch. Good cadence to get players to get defenders to jump offside sometimes. I think his feet could get a little bit better too. I would say his arm strength is enough to get the job done, but definitely isn't great. I see him kind of more of like a Brock Purdy type of thing. I think he can be a solid starter for somebody. But I don't think he's, like I said, he's going to be more of a game manager than a game driver. I have a second-round grade on him as well. And when I'm saying grades, just in case you're not aware, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to get drafted in the second round. That's just where his value is. Like every year, there's not 32 first-round grades. Like this year, I only have 15 people that I put first-round grades on, like throughout the entire draft. So I just kind of want to make that clear. A lot of you probably are aware of that. But anyway, Shedeur Sanders is number 2 from Colorado. He's 6'1.5", 212 pounds. Some real athleticism to him, can absolutely hurt you with his feet. Very elusive, throws the football very well on the move, stays calm under pressure, keeps his eyes downfield when he scrambles, which is good. Does hold the ball too long. Again, that's kind of something you get with mobile quarterbacks. He does also sometimes run when he doesn't need to, when he could have just stayed in the pocket. His offensive line wasn't that great either, so that has something to do with it. Pretty decently accurate too. I think decision-making, could stand to improve. Same with his anticipation, but I think he's got a lot of really good traits. I think his arm strength is definitely really good too. I definitely have a first-round grade on him, and I think it's actually really close between him and the number 1, which I'll go ahead and get into, Cam Ward from Miami. He's 6'2", 219 pounds. Really big arm. Biggest arm out of any of the quarterbacks I've talked about so far. Can make plays with his legs, strong guy, holds the ball sometimes, like I said, with some of the other guys. Will absolutely lower his shoulder. I do want him to protect himself a little bit more. I think his decision-making also could stand to get a little bit faster, and also his accuracy is okay too, but I think that could improve as well. Same with ball placement. But he throws the football very well on the move, likes RPOs, looks really solid when he's playing really fast, flashes of accuracy, can throw with touch, can throw with velocity, can throw with power. He can make all the NFL throws. I do have a first-round grade on him. Honestly, I went back and forth between him and Shedeur, like a lot of people seem to be. And the only thing that kind of edged him out was arm strength a little bit, because I think they have kind of similar issues with their decision making. I think it's kind of similar there, so the arm strength kind of edged him out. But honestly, if you wanted to say Shedeur Sanders is a little bit better, I can understand that too, because he's a little bit more athletic than Cam Ward, so I could understand that. So, anyway, I also have separate videos on all these guys as well out there. So, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I would appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.